Yeah, I agree. I mean, it could definitely trickle down to other students. And because he is so eager to answer and he's typically doing that, shouting out with everyone, it satisfies that urge inside of him to go ahead and answer. And you can try that, see what happens. So I think that might be a good strategy for you to use. My next question was, I wonder if B1 and B2 would respond appropriately and be empowered if you had some pre-planned questions at their level of understanding. Questions that you know they can respond to based on what they've learned in an auditory environment with their auditory learning. Not so much what they've had to learn from reading something. Okay, so it's really difficult to come up with those questions on the fly, but go ahead. I wonder how you think they would respond if you pre-planned just a couple of questions or one question for each of them.
I don't know how B2 would respond, 'cause I don't know him as well. But B1, that would help him, just like when we did warm-ups. You know, he's only on a certain level, but if I was there to help him, okay, we're going to do this warm-up, so you lead and I'll help you.
Right.
So that seemed to help, so I think that would work well for him. B2, I think it would. I just don't know exactly how he would respond. I don't know him as well.
Right.
Because he's very kind of reserved and more quiet than the other.
Have you ever called on him before, even if his hand's not raised, to answer?
I think I have a few times, and usually it's a pretty quick response.
Okay, so he does respond.
Yeah.
Good. I think the importance of the pre-planned question is it is a question that challenges them, but it's at a level in which they have been able to learn, at their level, the auditory level. And it also is very empowering for them, okay, in the classroom, that they've gotten the answer correct and they have had a chance to be successful at that moment, like the others are. So, the next question related to B1 and B2 is, I wonder what would happen with off-task behavior if B1 could help you at the board. And you said that you all have already used him with warm-ups.
Yeah.
And how did that work for you? Can you explain that again? And do you think pulling him up in other places at the board would be helpful?
It worked really well. He's really enthusiastic, so I think the other students responded pretty well. And then again, I made sure I was there to kind of help him out and guide him.
Right.
Okay, so we're going to do this warm-up, so you go ahead and lead.
Gotcha.
And so he did it, and or I would ask him, okay, which one? And he would tell me, so I'd play that, whichever one.
Good.
So that seemed to work well. And a lot of the times, if I'm passing out folders, especially last semester, because he's been with me all year, he would help me pass out folders or music. So I have gotten him to do things like that, but I could add more things for maybe give him a specific job that was maybe throughout the lesson he had a specific job.
Right.
I think he'd like that.
Okay. And do you think that would help with his off-task behavior?
Oh yeah, give him something to focus on and to do, and then maybe if he's got something to do, then he wouldn't be as tempted to slide into the behavior of those around him.
Right.
So with the echoing what they're saying, I think that's his biggest influence. I think if they were not that way, I think his behavior would change. Maybe not much, but it would definitely change. I think having B2 beside B1, the personalities help each other.
Yes.
And since they know each other, I think that helps.
Yeah. Why do you think the personalities help each other?
One's the more reserved and quiet, and the other one's more the outgoing,
I see.
influenced by the others. And like you said, B2 is really, shh, it's not your turn yet,
Right.
So one's more reflective, and one just wants to go, just wants to do it. And I think they balance each other out a lot.
And then you moved into, I have another question about about B2, one more question.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder if you have to go back over the norms for B1 and B2, wonder what would happen if the classroom norms could be reviewed with really B1 in a one-to-one conference. I think in my notes I put B2, but I meant B1. I wonder how you think how effective that would be. It's like going over those norms with him more frequent.
I think that would help. Maybe keep it fresh in his mind. Maybe he won't, because he's gotten so distracted by other things. Maybe that would bring him in each day or each week,
Right.
whichever. Maybe just to help him kind of think about those things.
Right. He has shown behavior that, and I documented, and I'm sure you read it. I mean, he's compliant. He's very mannerly and respectful and compliant. And so, just going over those structures and those norms with him, I think you're right. I think it would benefit just to maybe when he comes in and say, let's take a look at our norms. And it may not be that you want to cover all 6 norms that might be on your sheet or 7 norms, but maybe pick 2 or 3 that you feel like would help him the most. And this applies to B1 as well. And norms are not always about because there's discipline issues in the class or classroom management problems. Norms are so that everybody can participate and do it in an orderly fashion and accomplish your desired outcomes. So they shouldn't be viewed as these are rules and these are because of discipline. They're just viewed as these make you a good leader in the class. These make you a good student in the class. And so when you look at those norms at that angle, oftentimes students are more compliant and don't view them always as punitive by reviewing the norms.